I got some bad news for you guys. Well, some mixed news, I guess. The person that you hate the most has just made an excellent point. So Logan Paul, in the amazing duo of the Paul brothers, known for things like almost setting homes in the Hollywood Hills on fire, throwing Pokeballs at Japanese people, filming dead bodies in a suicide forest. It's incredible. There were suicide bodies in the suicide forest. Who could have seen this coming? Electrocuting dead rats for memes, selling fake cryptocurrency to their children fan base, ruining a YouTube convention by running a bunch of rampant children through the entire event and almost trampling people for the YouTube clicks, and feeding barely legal girls to their 60-year-old dad who lives in a van and basically lives a life off of his famous sons. And that's only a taste of what they're up to. Anyways, Logan Paul decided that he needs a little change of pace. It's time for him to switch things up, and he's ready to talk about some real issues for real big boys, okay? What's he, 23 now? Absolute big boy. So it's time for him for a change. So he decided to actually come out with a video about racism, and actually, it was pretty good. We can listen to it here.
One of my biggest learnings from all of this, and I'm embarrassed that it's taken me 25 years to realize this.
Oh, my bad. He's 25. I thought he was 23. Oh, geez. Wasn't this last year? Yeah, listen, the time moves in a very strange way.
It is not enough to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist.
Yes.
Condemn those who feign superiority because of the color of their skin. Friends, hold friends accountable. Hold your family accountable. Hold yourself accountable. And most importantly, we must hold our authorities accountable. Police officers, politicians, policymakers. As Killer Mike said, bully the politicians at the voting booth. Make your voice heard. Attend a protest. Speak up against injustice. If you're white, if you look like me, use your privilege. And for those who do not think white privilege exists, you are fucking blind. You are delusional and you are part of the problem. I can count on 0 hands the amount of times that I have feared for my life at a routine traffic stop. That has never happened. Half of the reason I'm able to get away with some of my hooligan shit I do in my vlogs is because I'm a white kid. I'm confident that I do not have to fear for my life should the cops show up. Acknowledge and weaponize your privilege. I believe we're going to a protest today. You can bet your fucking ass I'll be in the front line. Knowing all this about America, its racially charged background, its inability to truly treat humans as equals, even after 244 years since its inception, we must now work towards finding the solution. And if you are an influencer or celebrity friend of mine, I hope you are using your platform to continue to spread the message of solidarity and unity. I do not have all the answers, but I know we must now reverse engineer the system as a collective.
Why do conservatives get mad about this out of nowhere? Because they're really mad that people think that you shouldn't be racist. He makes some pretty decent points. He touches on systemic racism without necessarily using the word. He does a really good call to action for a lot of his viewers who may not be too politically engaged. And honestly, I can't get too mad at the message that he's sending out. I really can't. There's a little bit of weird things in there, like he's going to be the front line at the protest no matter what. First thing that you should do is probably talk to the people who are leading the protest, see what they want from you. Lots of those people are usually the people who are affected by the thing that you're protesting anyway. So following their lead is probably the best thing. They're probably thought about it more than you have, since, I mean, and it's not even like a shot at anyone. This isn't even like a shot at anyone. All I'm saying is that more likely than not, they spent more time thinking about this protest than you have. They're the ones leading on it. They're the ones with their name on it. Listen to what they have to say, because they probably have your best intentions in mind with keeping you safe and being the most effective march that you can possibly have. Okay, so that, but outside of that, it was pretty decent. And so, since it was so decent, and since it touched on one thing that conservatives hate, which is actively being against racism, they decided to come out of the woodwork and screech and shit their pants about all of this. Here is our good friend Timothy Pullerino with this dog shit take. Logan Paul announces that he is a white supremacist and wants to use his white privilege to engage in real racial discrimination. What? That's beyond dumb. It is, but it's on par for Tim Pool. It's literally one of the dumbest possible things that you could ever write. It's just so stupid. So his point is that Logan Paul acknowledging that being not racist is not good enough, being anti-racist is the correct position, is too far for Tim Pool. So now instead of coming to grips with the fact that he now has to actively use his brain power and his voice to say being racist is bad, instead of that, and actually correcting people when they are racist, instead of doing that, he just wants to call everybody who thinks that you should be against racism racist. Tim Pool, what do you expect? I'm not saying that I expected anything more from Tim Pool. All I'm saying is that he's a dumb fuck. And then this person went to say, I may not like Logan Paul, but if you have a problem with this and what he's saying here, you're a part of the problem. This is just factual. You are part of the problem. If you think anybody should be treated in a certain way based on something as insignificant as their skin color, you are the problem. So this is what they mean. All right. Anytime you ever acknowledge anything that makes the history of America look bad when it comes to race, when it makes white people today feel bad because they're more likely than not related to people that treated black people bad in the past and maybe like today. Anytime you say something along those lines, instead of like contending with your point, they just get really angry and start screeching and then call you the real racist for even acknowledging that there's racism in the country, because they don't want an actual conversation. What they want is to completely forget about the problems that our country has to deal with, because they don't want to be a part of the solution. That's the main thing. And then they go on to do like white nationalist talking points. The idea of anti-racism is 100% pro-racist. Kendi states that the only remedy to racist discrimination is anti-racist discrimination. The real remedy to past discrimination is present discrimination. The only remedy to present discrimination is future discrimination. And then he's just like, I don't know, and I also don't give a shit about whatever the fuck this person thinks. I didn't know this guy was the god of anti-racism. This is another tactic that conservatives use. Basically, if anybody on any position has a point that they don't like, they'll just use it and then say that person is the god of this theory. And then for one, they won't spend any time trying to understand it. They'll say that this person is the god of the theory, made it, and now has complete control over how it's used and what it means. And then completely disregard what you have to say because they've already made their mind up. They're not here to argue. They're here to pretend like they're knowledgeable on the subject and then like moonwalk away, because it's really easy for them to do that instead of actually engaging with any like real points. The idea that being anti-racist is a racist thing is honestly racist. That's racist to white people. Saying that being anti-racist means that saying that being anti-racist is automatically bad for white people is saying that white people are like by virtue racist, or there's something in their personality or their just like way of being that is racist that will hurt them in some way, which I don't think. I've had girlfriends and some of them have been white, and you know what, they're okay, you know, they're all right. I thought they were pretty. They had like nice boobs. I thought they were nice personally. They're like kind people, most of them. You know, sometimes we make bad decisions. I don't think white people are intrinsically racist, and I don't think being anti-racist is intrinsically anti-white, because white people aren't intrinsically racist. Everybody benefits from anti-racism. Anti-racism helps the economy, hurts no one, helps the economy. It's good for everyone. All right. There's no reason to be against it unless you have a vested interest in keeping white supremacy around. Really interesting. So Candace Owens decided to chime in with her endless shallow puddle of knowledge that she calls her brain, just like her poor little dried up raisin-like brain rattling around on the inside of her skull like a fucking maraca. She decided to chime in on this and with her brain dead take. Logan Paul loves to challenge people to the boxing ring. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Logan Paul challenges Candace Owens to boxing. Holy shit. Can you imagine him just knocking Candace Owens out? Woo! Now that's a boxing match. I didn't watch any of the other boxing matches, but if this happened, like, baby, I don't care what those tickets cost. I'm gonna be in there. I'm gonna be in the ring, dude. I'll be right there. Base and epic. That's what we call. Listen, Candace, you're looking for equality, right? You're looking for equality to women? Listen, equal rights, equal fights. Get in the ring, girl. Get in the ring. I'd like to see it. Anyways, she's too much of a loser to do that. I'd like to publicly challenge him to a few rounds with me. Oh, whoa, calm down, girl. In a political debate. Oh, okay. Logan Paul, how about you stop by my show and explain to me how your checks notes more privileged than me because you're white and I'm not. Candace Owens, only if some point in time someone had an extended period of time to explain to Candace Owens how she's like absolutely a dumb fuck in an environment where she can't like run from, because when that happens she just either completely shuts down or she has complete control of the microphone or the platform. Instead of her going on to her having him on her show, he should have her on his. And honestly, you know what? If this happens, I think Sam Cedar should reach out. I think it would be really cool. Yeah, and honestly, everyone with a check mark who does the checks notes meme is a bad human being. I'm sorry. There is no ifs, ands, and buts about it. This is not a funny meme. It's not cute. This is only by the wealthy elites, all right? This is a joke only by the wealthy elites. Anyways, Candace Owens decides to challenge him to a debate. It's really funny how these people always challenge like ex-Disney star, pop culture, dude bro weirdos. And I'm not even saying weirdo in like a derogatory sense. I'm personally a weirdo, okay? But I'm a political frog. This guy is not a political frog, okay? He's not a political frog. He doesn't do any of these things. I am not like this guy. They always challenge these people to debates because they know it's an easier win for them, because these people don't spend time researching politics. They don't have their rhetoric down to a T like these people do. Candace Owens spends her entire life on talking points, and that's it. She barely knows how to talk. I barely think that she even talks to her own damn husband like a normal human being. She runs down her own fucking talking point sheet. I wouldn't doubt it. He barely even knows what she is anymore. So that's why they do it. It's really sad, because the right used to be all about, we're the debate bros. All we do is debate. The left doesn't want to debate. And then all of a sudden they dodge every single big lefty, whoever wants to debate, and then goes for people with like 300 followers who quote tweeted them. They go for people who have never done politics in their entire life. That's it, because they can only be handled with kids gloves. They can only talk to people who have very little political knowledge because they have very little political knowledge. Anyways, Logan Paul decided to respond to Candace. And I'd like to listen to this as well.
Anti-racist.
Speaking up about racism.
Why the fuck is he sitting backwards in his chair like he's about to talk to his kid that he had through like infidelity about the birds and the bees? Why is he doing that? Do you guys sit in your chair like that? Wait, does anybody here ever sit in their chair backwards? Is this comfortable? I feel like I'd be grinding my nutsack against the backrest. You know what I mean? Like the lumbar support would be like turning my nuts into like peanut butter. You know what I mean?
During the BLM movements, went like re-viral. It caught some traction, and I was getting canceled by white supremacists, I think, or people who boo or like follow that agenda for not being racist.
I said there's nothing.
You know what? Honestly, Logan, even though you're not too versed on rhetoric or politics or anything, and then he got canceled. You know what? Based. You're right. Based. I'll take it. That's good enough for me. Even for him, he's fucking confused. So I said being anti-racist was bad, and then I got canceled for it. This is the only face that you could possibly make thinking about this if you're not completely brain dead. All right?
More 2021 than a person of color, Candace Owens, calling out a white man for standing up for persons of color.
Oh, she's the one that came after you?
Yes.
Wait, is this the girl that did the Harry Styles dress thing? Is this the same girl?
I don't know, and I'll never talk about the topic ever again. Maybe
Yes.
so. But I was
Yes.
blown away.
Oh, I get that.
Blown away.
Wait, is this phase blanks?
And honestly, like, regardless of her sentiment or thoughts on whether racism truly still exists or whether white people have it easier than people of color,
What did she say? What did she say?
I'm trying to find the tweet.
He'll find the tweet, but it just
it,
it made me feel so disgusting, dude. Like such a clear play for clout that involved a subject that should never be brought into clout plays. Like, it was just...
I need that clout.
Here, she tweeted, Logan loves to challenge people in the boxing ring. I like to publicly challenge him to go a few rounds with me in a political debate. At Logan Paul, how about you stop by my show and explain to me how your checks notes more privileged than me because you're white and I'm not. And mind you, bro, this video is from like a year ago. And I'm not sure how it just caught any sort of traction, right? But I'm perplexed.
You know, that's it. That's honestly all you can say. A year ago, I said racism is bad. Conservatives found it, and then they said it was bad. I'm perplexed. That's literally all you can. That's all I can. That's all I am. I'm also perplexed. How is this a bad thing? Mostly because they equate being mean to racism to being mean to white people. I don't know. It may have something to do with their idea that being racist is intrinsically about being white, which is very, very interesting thought for people who say that they're trying to stand up for white people. Very interesting. And this dumbass tweeted this out again. Logan Paul's podcast calls Candace Owens racist for not supporting his scripted CRT rant. So once again, anytime you never forget this, okay? This is their plan. Don't forget this. Anytime you say racism is bad, every time you say being anti-racist is good, you're right, being anti-racist is too far. Anytime you say that anything that would make them upset because they're white, that is CRT. Everything they don't like is CRT. Just like when you go out and go like, hey, raping women is bad, they'll call you an SJW. Saying being anti-racist is good, they'll call you critical race theory because they don't have any thought process. All they have is talking points, and everything that they don't like, they're going to label as bad thought, wrong think, and then say that, and then put it under this umbrella term, wrap it all up into a neat ball so they can ball it up and then throw it away. That's it. That's their only plan. That's it. That's their only plan. It's a stupid plan, but it's a good rhetorical strategy to call every single thing they don't like, everything they don't like, CRT. And I don't know what the problem with a talk being scripted is. I don't script the things that I talk about, but I consume a lot more politics than these guys do. I could probably have a anti-racist rant if I want, and I probably had them before, but I don't need to script them because I already have the talking points in my head. I can put them together in a way that's cogent and coherent. Someone who doesn't do this, someone who's just like a normal human being, normal in the sense that they don't listen and talk about politics 24/7, those types of people probably can't. Not because they're fucking stupid, and I'm not sure if he's trying to say that he's being paid off by like Jeff Bezos or like George Soros or something, that George Soros personally emailed Logan Paul that script to say during like the BLM protest. I'm honestly unsure, but I do know that normal people can have scripted things that they talk about. That's not a problem. Writing your points down is not a problem. Just because you never write anything down because you never have any thoughts does not mean people who have thoughts and want to write them down and convey them in a coherent manner can't do that. It's just really weird. I'm sorry that you're too stupid to ever write anything down because you have 0 points. You just call everything that you don't like SJW and CRT. Sorry. Yeah, no thoughts, head empty. I'm sorry. Not all of us are like that. No, all of us have like literally 0 thoughts. I'm sorry. There's nothing. I don't know what to tell you, friend. I don't know what to tell you. I actually believe him when he sits there and admits he has no idea what's going on. The first thing first true thing he ever said. This is literally the idea of you walking into the school lunchroom, climbing up on one of the tables, and then like prairie dogging your shit, and then dragging it like a magic marker across the table, like butt scooch style, like Fido. And then when everybody is like, damn, you're a disgusting freak, you go, Looks like I made everybody upset. They have no clue what's going on. First true thing they ever said. What the fuck? Just because nobody likes you doesn't mean you're doing something right. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. And then Candace decided to respond to this. Anyone know the name of the dude with the underbite sitting next to Logan Paul who was disgusted to learn that there's a black woman? Nice id poll, just so you know. This is all id poll. This is all id poll. Who doesn't see herself as beneath a white man? Nobody ever said that you were beneath white people. This is another straw man. Imagine being this upset to find out that there's a black person, more id poll, just so you know, who isn't oppressed. It's just so fucking stupid. Who's Candace? Candace Owens is a black person who thinks that the Democrats are mean because they want to give black people equal rights and equal standing to white people in general society and want to fix inequity. She doesn't like that because she wants black people to suffer. And she doesn't suffer because she's rich and she has the affirmation of the white people that she wants. That's the basic thing. So now she goes around trying to say that black people are still slaves to the Democrats because they don't want to vote for Republicans who vote to make black people's lives worse. And that's like just about it. Clown faces. Damn, I didn't know they had a fucking Candace Owens emoji. Holy shit. Man, look at her. Man, Candace Owens is so up there. Twitter gave her her own emoji. That's sick, dude. Man, I wish we get big enough one day. What a loser. And this is basically where this ends. Once again, conservatives just getting mad at the fact that people want to do something about problems. Basically, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Stops when people start pulling themselves up in ways that people like Candace Owens don't like. In the way that they don't like. And we know that because even through all of this, InfoWars contributor, white nationalist, Paul Joseph Watson even chimed in. Logan Paul used to be based. I know that for a fact. Holy shit. When conservatives use these types of words, I want to commit sewer slide. I want to get a slide. I want to slide right into the sewer. All right. Know that for a fact. Then the mob got to him. And this is another tactic that they used. Every single time someone does something that they don't like, any single time someone goes slightly further left, it's the mob got to them. It's not, oh, someone changed their political ideology in a way that I don't like. It's the mob infiltrated his room and then clubbed him with 13-inch big black Jerome dildos until he was into submission, tied him up with Japanese silk rope, stuffed his mouth with a gay rainbow-colored ball gag, and told him that they would that they would delete his YouTube channel if he did not come out with a written statement written by George Soros, commissioned by George Soros himself, to say that anti-racism is good. They got to him, the mob, and the mob is just another dog whistle, chief. It's just another dog whistle because they can't handle people just changing their political ideology. Listen, if someone changes their political ideology and goes further right, I'm just going to say that they're a dipshit. I'm not going to say that the remaining Koch brother, because his other brother fucking died. I'm not going to say that the remaining Koch brother got to them and brainwashed them to say this, because I'm not fucking stupid. I know that people can change their minds. People can be stupid sometimes. There's lots of stupid people in the world. Candace Owens, Candace Owens, Tim Pool, Paul Joseph Watson, Exhibit A, B, and C. The truth, of course, is that anti-racism is the movement that is incredibly racist because they always equate being racist to being white. That's the real reason. It's sick. It's disgusting. They're so dumb. But these are the people that make it up in the world for conservatives. These are the people that they hold up as their champions. And honestly, it says a lot that they're this dumb, but they're effective nonetheless.